y'all, thank y'all so much for joining me today. I don't have my counterpart. Today it's just going to be me. This video ain't going to be very long. Today I'm just going to be showing you guys how I make BLOVESLIFE Smackalicious sauce. So with that being said, ain't going to take much time. Want to say, if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button before we get in this thing. Also, give this video a thumbs up. Guys, remember, hashtag #GrowBabyGrow. Share this video, you know what I'm saying? Comment down below. Show us all the love you can. And without further ado, we're going to jump right in this thing. All right, y'all, so jumping right into the video, you see all the ingredients that I have here for the sauce. This is how I make the sauce, so you're going to need everything here to make it taste like how I make it taste like. That's right, everything here to make it taste like how I make it taste. Now, granted, you know, some of these things I know people don't like the sushi ginger that I'm pointing to right here, you know, this is what I use in here. I do usually get the white sushi ginger, just because I don't know what makes the pink sushi ginger pink. If it's dyed or something, that's unnecessary. Also, y'all, part of this video is going to be voiceover, and part of it's going to be actually me recording while I was, talking while I was recording. That's because I was having some audio issues. But anyway, you see I have 4 large onions here. I'm going to have, I have 2 red, 2 yellow. No particular reason for that. Sometimes I use all red, sometimes I use all yellow, but those are usually the ones I use. I usually, if anything, I might use a Vidalia sometimes, but most of the time, never a white onion, just because they're a little bit more harsh. Also here, I'm going to use some brown sugar. Very important for the taste that I try to achieve. You're going to use anywhere from 2/3 cup to 3/4 cup of brown sugar in there, just to get that sweetness to come out. Also, guys, I use these lemons. Sometimes I really don't know how many to use, just based off of the size. I started off, as you're going to see later on in the video, I used 3 lemons, but I ended up going back and using all 4 because I wanted more of the lemon taste to come through. Also, guys, I have the butter there. That's challenge butter. I use start off with 4 sticks, and I usually add an additional 2 sticks at the end, or maybe even a whole another 4 sticks. I know some people say that's too much butter, but as far as as far as I remember, I know people before these butter sauces, they dipped it straight in straight butter, and if anything, it's not adding more butter per whatever, it's just stretching it, so the sauce is just going to be longer. It doesn't compromise the taste or whatever, it just stretches it so that it lasts longer. Also, guys, you have the Coke, another one of the liquid ingredients, and the apple cider vinegar, and your minced garlic. Those are all very important ingredients. And then last but not least, you have the Beloved Smackalicious sauce mix seasoning itself. This is the spicy version. They do, in my opinion, taste a little different from each other. But right here, I'm just going to be making it spicy. I make them out exactly the same. I just might add a little bit more cayenne pepper and red pepper flakes to it. But anyway, y'all, so that's what we're using. So we're going to go on to the first step. All right, so right here, I'm just about to slice up the onions. You can see I already halved and peeled the white onions. So far, I always do it like this, not to try to give anybody a tutorial, but I'm just going to show you how I chop all the onions. Pretty much the same thing with both of them. With the white onions, I just halved them and, you know what I'm saying, kept the root on, just chop off the front. And same thing here, chop off the front, get the root on, and then I'm just going to peel the dead part off. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut those down into slices. I actually have had a lot of trouble finding large yellow onions lately. I don't know what's going on. This is the most I've ever paid for yellow onions in my life. Each one of those onions, each of the yellow onions were like $2.79 a piece, just because they were organic. But those are the biggest ones I could find, and I didn't want to buy a bag and then chop up a bunch of onions because, I don't know, it just annoyed me. So I just went ahead and bit the bullet. And I got those 2 organic yellow onions, so hopefully this sauce is everything because of that little step, I guess. But anyway, y'all, so just right here, you see what I just did there. Just same thing. Just gonna show you a little bit me just slicing, and then we're just gonna move on to the next step. Nothing special here, just cutting in the slices. Please do not look at me for like the best safety I have no professional training. I know that my fingers are at risk right here. So don't cut like me. You know, I'm not trying to teach you how to cut an onion or how to protect your fingers. You can cut like this, but this is not how you protect your fingers, just in case anybody is like, you know, saying I'm teaching bad habits or whatever. I'm just showing you exactly how I cut them up. I'm going to do this to all of them, all of the onions, and then you're going to see exactly why. All right, so those are the onions all cut up. They're all sliced, and then so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to the stove, and then we're gonna get these things cooking. All right, so we're at the stove. So what you see here is I have 2 pots. This is the pot I'm actually gonna be making the sauce in, and then this is the pot that I'm just gonna brown the red onions in. I'm gonna go ahead and put the white onions in here, and I'm gonna put the red onions in here. And I'll show you why in just a minute. So I'm just gonna get the heat going. I do like to turn up to like a medium-high heat whenever I do the onions, because I like for them to get some color on them and get sauteed. If you cook them on low and too much oil or butter, then they'll cook, but they'll just kind of get translucent and won't really get any color on them. And if y'all know, color is flavor. So start right there. All right, so we're just gonna take a little bit of olive oil right there. Same thing in this one. To start with. Not even gonna go for the butter just yet. Whenever that heats up, I'm gonna start throwing the onions in there, because I do like a little sizzle right off the bat, just to get those browning up in color. And as I put them in there, I try to break them apart. I'm gonna break them apart more here in just a minute. Anyway, y'all. So, because I have a little bit more red onions than I do white onions, and I do like for the onion pieces to be kind of prominent in there, I'm actually gonna only gonna use some of these. I'm only gonna use some of these red onions in here, not all of them, in this first pan. Now I'm gonna take the rest of the onions and I'm gonna put them over here in the other pan. All right, so I got the onions in there. You hear that noise? Yeah. They starting to, so I just take whatever spoon, fork, whatever kind of utensil you're using to stir these around, spatula, and just kind of make sure they separate, because you want to be able to get some colors. Like, so usually I wouldn't have, just based off how I did it in the past, I would just have white onion in here, but I was lacking more. I thought just because I got those 2 big ones, they still weren't big enough for me, so I added a little bit more of the red onion over here, which I've done in the past. I've used red onion all the way through before. This is just how I'm used to making, so I'm just showing y'all just a little something different. All right, guys, so basically what I was trying to say in a nutshell is I use red onions and white onions. Sometimes I use all red onions, sometimes I use all white onions. A lot of times, if I can get 4 large onions, that's what I'll have. So right now I just have half and half. You don't have to particularly have, you know what I'm saying, red or in one pan, white in one pan. That's just how I did it this recipe. And I was just saying that I took a little bit more of the red ones, because it was easy for me to divide it that way. I took a little bit more of the red ones and added it to the white ones, simply because I didn't have enough white, because they were smaller than I thought, especially once I peeled away the outside bad layer. So yeah, basically red and yellow is what I like to use. I don't use white because I think it's too aggressive, and I might use a Vidalia, but yeah. So just do the same thing in both. So I got that one. Those are me, and then over here I got the red onion. It'll be all right. I didn't mean for that white onion to get in there, but it'll be okay. So the same thing, just breaking it up so that they can brown evenly. You know what I'm saying? All those. I know y'all kind of like, why in the world does he got onions in 2 pans? I'm gonna show you in just a minute. I'm gonna show you. So yeah, once I get these browned up, we're gonna come back with the next step. Alright y'all, so we back. So you see what I mean by getting some color on the onions? This is what I do before I add the butter in there. I just add a little olive oil, just a little bit, and like, cause I like, that's all flavor. You're gonna taste that throughout the sauce. It's just a little step that I like to do. I like to brown them up first. So these are pretty much looking like how I want them. So I'm gonna go ahead and reduce the heat on these and go ahead and add the butter in here. These right here, I want them to get a little bit more color on there. A little bit more color on there. They're getting there, but it's not quite like I want them. So yeah, I'm just gonna show y'all me adding the butter in here, and then we're gonna go to the I'm gonna turn down the heat on this to about a medium, just about a medium, because I don't want the butter to start boiling. About medium, low, medium, and then we're gonna go to the next step with these onions once they get to the color I like. All right, so turn that down. Just added 4 sticks of the unsalted butter in there. All right, these are starting to look how I want to. I'm not gonna turn the heat all the way down on there, just a little bit. And then what I'm actually gonna do is gonna add my garlic in here. All right, so I really wish I had my sidekick, y'all, because it's too much. But anyway, I made like a little well right here. Turn the heat down just a tiny bit. And so I got my garlic right here. It's gonna go probably, if you got a spoon this size, like a regular half spoon, probably gonna go about 4 big heaping spoonfuls is about I go for. And just gonna let that brown up for a second. And it ain't gonna take long at all. And then I'm removing this whole pan from the heat. So yeah, just gonna get that in there like that. I made that well so that I can get the garlic direct contact with the pan, and kind of let all that garlic juice that when you buy minced garlic, it sits in that juice, kind of let it evaporate off real quick. So if I would have poured it right over the onions, it wouldn't have did it as fast. So right now that juice is going off, and it's gonna give me a quicker brown garlic. So when we come back, we're gonna remove this from the heat, and then we're gonna go on to our next step. We got this over here, butter just melting down in those already brown onions, just melting down, and we're gonna after we deal with the other ones, we're gonna come back and start combining everything together. And also back once again. Right now, what you're looking at is the pan that I had the red onions and the garlic in. And so once I got that garlic kind of heated through and got a little color, browned it up a little bit, I just brought it off the heat, brought it right over here. So right here, I have my pickled ginger. That's either, you can either get 1 big jar, 2 small jars. Like I said before, I know everybody don't like it, but this is how it's gonna taste, how I make it taste. So this is definitely important. Yeah, y'all, I'm actually gonna take these onions and garlic, pickled ginger. I'm gonna put it in here. This is my blender. This is our Ninja Chef. So basically, what I'm gonna do is, I already got like a about 1/3 to a 1/2 cup of hot water in there. Not much. I just need it in there just so that it'll blend together well. The reason why I'm doing this and the reason why I like to do this is because I realized that it gives the sauce a lot more flavor when it has like a that onion base to it, instead of just the chopped onions in it. The onions really seem to combine with the other liquid and the other seasonings. The seasonings that come in the pack, it like latches on to this very well, and it just gives more flavor. So it's like actually just making like an emulsion. And I keep the other onions sliced in there because I like to have those pieces. But for this part, I just like to I like to blend this up and make kind of like I said, an emulsion, and then put that right in the sauce, and then it just really makes everything taste a lot better, in my opinion. So I only have one arm, so y'all, I'm just gonna come back after I got this in the blender, and I'm just gonna show y'all me blending it up. All right, so I got the onions, garlic, and the ginger in there. I did drain the ginger off because I don't like all the extra juice. I only want the flavor from the pickled ginger itself. So once I got that in there like that, I'm just gonna go here, turn this bad boy on, and I'll just go in manual and put it on about a medium speed. so we back up to the pot. As you can see, the butter has melted down with those onions that I put in there before. And so right now I'm going to add that emulsion that I just made in the blender right into here. Mind you, it does not look that tasty going in there. It doesn't. But once the seasonings and stuff get in there, it's going to turn a totally different color. So, you know, yeah. So I'm just going to warn y'all, it don't look that great. But it's nothing but onions, garlic, and ginger. And of course, the pink color is from the red onions. And so what I'm gonna do is go ahead and start mixing that in. Like I said, the reason I do that is because I think that the emulsion just makes it taste better, in my opinion. And to me, it makes it more of a sauce. It tastes like more of a sauce once everything's in there. And you actually have some body to the sauce, as opposed to, you know, sometimes those seasonings tend to want to settle on their own and nobody wants to pull a chuck of seasoning. But as long as you boil it, it's all good. It doesn't do that anyway, but I just think the seasoning latches on to something like this a lot better. All right, so I think B Love as hers. She has the seasoning packet last. I kind of actually go out of order. Once I get what am I trying to say? Help me. Once I get this stuff combined right here, the onions and everything combined, that's when I go ahead and add the seasoning, and then I start adding everything else. So with that being said, I got my B Love Life Smackalicious Spicy Sauce Mix. I'm gonna go ahead and just, you kind of gotta be careful adding that in. I just go little by little because that powder will come up in your nose, in your nostrils, in your brain, and it will take you out of here. Yes, it will. Ooh. A little bit more. Add the rest in there. Alright, we'll be back with the next ingredients. I can't really show y'all me muscling this because I'm only one. Can't really show y'all me muscling this because I'm only one person. But yeah, I added 3 lemons in here, 3 large lemons. So I'm going to taste it and see how I like it. And then I may add one more. It just depends. This is something I always taste toward the end. But yeah, 3 large lemons so far. All right, y'all, so I'm not really sure what happened right here. This is that where I was supposed to be adding the brown sugar and the vinegar in, and somehow it just got deleted or blacked out. But yeah, I added about 2/3 cup to 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and then about 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Not enough for it to really come through that strong at all. All right, so what you see now is the sauce. After I've added all the ingredients to it, I've already added in there, you see the extra 2 sticks of butter. Like I said, this is just to really stretch the sauce out. As you're going to see in the end, it's going to be a huge bowl. And I also ended up adding another lemon after I tasted it. So there's 4 lemons in total. And then I added the extra butter at the end. What I like to do now is I'm going to let that next stick of butter melt, of course. But I'll bring up the heat a little bit to about a medium to medium high. And then I'm going to let it boil. Let the whole pot boil for probably about 10 to 15 minutes. Then I'll reduce it down, and then that'll be the sauce. But what I like to do before I do that is I'll take a couple of the lemon halves that I had, and I like to throw them in there before it starts boiling. I let that boil with the lemon in there, and then I'll fish them out later. I just like the sauce to have more lemony taste. So yeah, if with the I like for it to be a little sweeter too. So with the Coke and the brown sugar, you should get that sweet taste. If you use as much Coke as me, like I said, the brown sugar is something that I use. Like if I have like 2 regular eating spoons, not the small ones but the big ones, I use about 3 3 heaping spoonfuls of those, and that usually gets it as sweet as I like. Sometimes you can add a little bit more or a little less if you don't like it as sweet, but this should be how I like it. So like I said, I'm gonna let this boil for about 10-15 minutes, and then we're gonna come back and I'm gonna show you the finished product. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I like to add this in red pepper flakes too. Even though this is spicy, it's not really spicy. It's like super spicy. I like it to be a little bit more spicy. But I add this cayenne pepper and red pepper flakes. I don't know what red pepper flakes are. I'm gonna find those in a minute. But I did want to let y'all know that this is something that I usually do. Don't tell my wife. Yeah, don't tell my wife because she don't really like extra spice. But you know, I do. She'd be like, "What is kicking me in my mouth? What is kicking me?" It's that cayenne and them extra red pepper flakes I put in there, but don't you worry about it. Alright, y'all, this is starting to boil. And like I said, 10-15 minutes, we'll come back. Alright, guys, this is the finished product. You're going to hear me say that again in a minute. This is the finished product. This sauce right here, I feel like I have to reiterate because I know somebody's going to say it. You know, I just know it. This sauce right here is going to last a very long time unless I throw it out because I don't have room in our freezer or something like that. This is going to last a very long time, not only because I have other butter sauces, but because this is a lot. I learned to stretch this. If you add more butter to it, it's not going to compromise the flavor. It's not going to water it down because it's butter anyway. It's not going to make it less seasoned. I added more butter, and then, you know, with the amount of ingredients in here, this is going to last a very, very long time. Like I said, it can last up to a year in the freezer if you keep freezing it. So why not? Like I said, unless I throw it out because I just don't have room or something like that, or I just, you know, unthaw it and I use the whole bowl again and something gets in it that I don't want to, it's going to last a very long time. So there's nothing wrong with adding extra butter. Like I said before, these butter sauces were out, people dip their crab legs in straight butter. So this is perfectly fine, you know, to add extra butter to your sauce if you do it like I do it, just to stretch it even further, because it is a butter sauce. It's a seafood butter sauce, so please enjoy it. All right, I'm about to close out, y'all. All right, guys, so this is the finished product, the BLOVESLIFE Smackalicious spicy sauce. The way I like to make it, I know it's non-traditional compared to what you've seen before, but this is the way I like to make it. I just think it has more depth of flavor this way. And the way BLOVES makes it is pretty good, too. It's just a small tweak as far as blending it up. You have to kind of be mindful when you first put it in there. Like I said, when you add the seasoning to the blended mixture, everything's going to be thick. But once you bring it to a boil and start adding your other liquid elements, everything will thin back out and you get a traditional sauce look like this. It's just that the base of this is really, you know what I'm saying, it's thicker, and you get all that the flavor from everything else. I want to thank you guys for tuning into this video. Stay tuned. Tomorrow we'll have another video for you, and the day after that. So we love y'all so much. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, drop a comment down below, let us know what you think. Guys, remember to share this video with your family, friends, loved ones, because sharing is caring. So care about us. We love you so much. We'll talk to you later. Peace.